The Valve sequel nobody wanted?
In the teeth. I'm still hoping this is a joke. It's bad. Really bad. God, please let this be a joke. I'll still be pissed, but relieved. What are you thinking? This is an insult to all of us. In my opinion, this is highly unethical. I'm effing pissed about this, Valve. I hope you go die.
Just what awful game could everyone be so upset about? It must be an absolute dumpster fire to piss off this many people. Well, it only happens to be one of the most universally beloved co-op
What? They said that about Left 4 Dead 2?
games of all time.
Yeah, it may have come as a surprise. We've been able to keep a secret.
That want to boycott Left 4 Dead 2. This is the dumbest thing I've heard in a long time.
You guys are just a bunch of cheap Nelsons who think $50.
Boycotting Valve's new title. 2009.
Is too much for a new video game.
The guys at Valve don't owe you people jack. When you buy a game, you're purchasing the content on the disc. We all love Team Fortress 2, but do you expect Valve to do that for every game they release?
Left 4 Dead is a weird franchise. The games are widely considered to be absolute masterpieces, must-play titles that will never get old. For as beloved the series is, it seemingly has few notches under its belt. There's only 2 games, both released in the span of 2 years. When they first released, there was only 10 campaigns, totaling to about 45 playable levels. The amount of time it took to release every mainline game in the entire Left 4 Dead franchise is smaller than the time it takes some franchises to release a single game.
Oh, sheeshers. But like, people always shit on any Valve game on release. Okay, Artifact was shit. I'm not gonna lie, Artifact was really shit, dude. Yo, that shit was a mess, okay? That shit was a mess. But I actually really like Deadlock. I don't mind Deadlock. Do I like watching people play Deadlock? Not a big fan of watching somebody stream Deadlock. But playing it is actually really fun.
Game. Sometimes, though, less is more. Valve and their subsidiary Turtle Rock Studios, the creators of Left 4 Dead, didn't franchise Left 4 Dead like their competitors because of one simple reason.
The game is fun.
He's walking.
Oh, yep, he's there.
Oh, no.
This is...
Oh, no.
I know this is unpopular of an opinion, but I don't really mind the fact that there's no third of anything when it comes to Valve. I actually, I know this is unpopular as fuck, but I would rather them do it because they want to instead of they feel like they need to. Like, if ever there was a Half-Life 3, I'm gonna be super fucking happy about it, and I'm gonna play the fuck out of it, etc., etc. If there was a new Left 4 Dead 3, I would be really happy about it. I wouldn't complain. But like, do I want that? Yes. Do I feel like complaining to Valve that they have no whatever? I like the memes of like having like, I don't know, the hope thingies and stuff like that. I do hope so. I love Portal. I love most of their games and stuff like that. But at the same time, I don't like the idea of forcing people to do something just because like I want them to do. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. You're a Molly?
Because I feel like, would I rather have this or would I rather see them becoming like COD? Oh, I don't know. Would I rather have this than like seeing them just like spam the shit out of it and becoming like worse and worse and worse? Oh, I don't know. It sucks because like, guys, I have a genuine question. Would you rather, in an alternative world that you can go to, you have Half-Life 3, but then they just kept on spamming it. Half-Life 3, Half-Life 4, Half-Life 5, Half-Life 6. It's like the story has becoming like so whatever. Or would you rather be in this reality where they literally just don't make a new one? Or like it's becoming like such a little fairy tale? I'm good with what it is now that you're making a false rhetorical. No, but like I'm just saying, like in a like if ever I'm okay with this reality is what I'm trying to say. Would I wish that there's Portal 3? Yes. But do they, if ever the situation was like they feel like they can't do better than Portal 2 and they saw that they chose to be like, okay, unless we do it better than before, there's no point in doing it. Ooh, I kind of like that. I kind of like that ideology though.
Left 4 Dead never notched its belt with dozens of sequels because it partially didn't need to. The The series' emphasis on cooperation and teamwork made it a cut above its competition. You need to work together with your friends if you want to win, otherwise you're left for dead. Oh, thank you, thank you. Throw in a well-balanced versus mode, a modding community that lets you gun down Shrek and Helm's Deep with a sentient pickle, and you've got 2 games that will, and have, stood the test of time. So it would make sense with how few games there are, that fans would covet both of them like precious rings from Shrek's Helm's Deep. But sometimes people want less.
The only game that needs a third is a Half-Life 3 since the story is incomplete. True. But I would rather wait 20 years for the perfection of it than it being here now. That's my point. Like, if it took 20 years and they finally release Half-Life 3, and I'm 60 years old, like, whatever, how old the fuck I am. Or, like 20 years from now, and they finally release it. Ooh, I would enjoy that.
More than they might know. There was once a time where Left 4 Dead 2 was the last thing anyone wanted, and it was outright boycotted by Valve's biggest fans. What people might not expect about a video game boycott is that it's actually a cautionary tale of how absolute power can corrupt anyone, and what happens when a passionate revolution becomes delusional.
They called Valve sellouts. Man.
Before Left 4 Dead 2 incited a political movement, there was Left 4 Dead 1.
You know, it goes to show how, I'm gonna keep it buck, it goes to show how we are so spoiled. You have no idea how spoiled you are until you are when it's gone. Man.
In 2008, Valve had gotten pretty good at making competitive shooters, with games like Counter-Strike, and of course, Team Fortress 2.
Oh.
Except these were games where you had to shoot each other and compete to win. That's too scary. What if there was a game where we could all work together to win? Oh, and there's also zombies. Thus, Left 4 Dead 1 was born. When Left 4 Dead 1 came out, it was well received and also made a bunch of money. But there was trouble in paradise, as the game had some problems. There wasn't a lot of weapon variety, only 5 guns to be exact. A few too many bugs here and there. The hit detection was a little iffy. Matchmaking was iffy. You couldn't choose what type of server you could join, so it was host advantage galore. The balancing was more so favored towards the humans and not the zombies. Human survivors can just shove back zombies infinitely with no cooldown, so what most players would do is just stack in a corner and camp out during holdout sections.
Walter
With very few options to get them out of those corners, those playing the zombies were kind of screwed. Combine that with the unreal effectiveness of the auto shotgun, and it was a clean sweep almost every round. It was bad enough that people started modding in anti-corner camping fixes, or made custom servers where it was banned altogether. That's not to say the game was bad though, it just had some growing pains that needed patching. Despite a few problems, Left 4 Dead captured a loyal audience. Anywhere it was shown off, there'd be lines out the door. Valve had once again proven they know ball. This was also the Valve of 20 years ago, the Valve that released an update recently. Sure, they may have taken some time to bake, commonly called Valve time, but you always knew it was worth the wait, because that bread was coming out extra crispy. Unlike the Valve of today, where the bread is fused to the bottom of the oven, which is partially why fans of Valve had grown accustomed to a premium gaming experience for a bargain price. Half-Life 2 had Counter-Strike bundled for free. The Orange Box had 3
I will never forget when I said that my favorite game that I owned was the Orange Box because it had like all my favorite games in total. And back in I had it in the PS3, and then a Korean kid laughed at my face. I will never fucking forget that. Like, he laughed at my face. He was like, like, he legitimately laughed like really hard, like hysterically hard, when I said my favorite like thing I owned was the Orange Box. I will never fucking forget that. And then I never talked about it ever since. Oh my god, yeah, no, that actually like fucked me up. I never talked about it ever since because I got really embarrassed now because the guy like laughed at me so hard. By the way, his favorite game back in the day was that pixel game. It was a classic Korean one. What is that? What's the one with like little silly cutie pretty Harvest Moon? Maple Story. Okay, I was playing the Orange Box while he is in this fucking playing Maple Story. Okay, we are not the same. Now I'm very proud. Now I'm very proud, but I will not lie. That guy made me very insecure.
Full game for the price of one. Team Fortress 2 was free and was continually updated for years, leading some to claim that this made Valve fans entitled and spoiled. But it wasn't entitlement, it was expectation. When you only get quality, you come to expect quality. This is true of most things in life. Is it entitlement to expect Summoning Salt to drop a banger video about the quest to beat Juicy Diarrhea 41? No. Is it entitlement to expect a culinary symphony from a McDouble? Yeah. So if Left 4 Dead had some problems, the fans had faith that Valve would fix it in due time. They always do. Wait, is that Valve? I thought they just released a game last year. What's going on?
Oh my god, dude, you kidding me?
Left 4 Dead 2. That is ridiculous. A year later.
Ridiculous it was indeed for the crowd. There was excitement at a new game, of course, but then confusion. Valve usually takes way longer to release games, and now they cranked this out in less than 12 months? Everyone then asks Valve the same question.
Why? Damn, this is like when I was like only 9 years old, so I don't know anything about this actually. I have no idea.
A little confused. So, you guys put out Left 4 Dead last November.
Correct.
You just announced Left 4 Dead 2 for this November. You guys are Valve. You don't turn games around in 1 year. Like, I thought I knew you guys. What is going on here?
You guys
That's honestly such a fair question though.
that took everybody by surprise. I don't know if anybody was expecting a sequel so quickly.
Loved Left 4 Dead, but it kind of caught me off guard.
A sequel so soon? Something wasn't right here. While these thoughts swirled around everyone's heads at E3 2009, what was going through Valve's mind was survival. What a lot of people forget about press tours like E3 is that the marketing team is doing interviews non-stop. For hours on end, these Valve employees are doing new interviews every 10 minutes, and every journalist is asking the exact same questions, sometimes in the exact same spot. That monotony and stimulus overload can get to a person, and it can lead to slip-ups.
Post-launch, we'll definitely be supporting the game with downloadable content on both the PC and the Xbox 360, similar to what we've done with Team Fortress
Oh, so this is why. Okay.
2 with shipping new missions, new weapons, new achievements, and
Wow,
new
I had
characters.
no idea about this.
Suddenly it clicked in everyone's brains. Left 4 Dead 2 didn't feel right because Valve was wrong. They had promised to support Left 4 Dead 1, and now this? Oh, I get it now, Valve. In order to fix what's broken about the first game, your solution is to look away and tell us tips are appreciated but not necessary. And the more that fans started digging, the more
Rurbal, thank you so much for 1 year. I had no idea about this stuff. Holy. Oh, thank you so much, Rurbal. Much love.
hypocrisy they found. Like how Valve's CEO said they would continue to support Left 4 Dead 1 like their other titles. More campaigns, more weapons, more characters, the whole
I'm gonna give it a buck. I've never played the first Left 4 Dead. I never touched that.
4 yards. And yet, here we are. The community gathered on various forums to vent. All this pure anger needed to be channeled somewhere. And it was about to go nuclear.
It's also my pleasure to see to it that decent, hard-working people in this community aren't robbed blind by a pack of money-mad pirates.
Meet the tragic protagonists of our story. Walking Target, Agent of Chaos, and Mr. Pancakes, the triumvirate of gamers. Like history's greatest revolutionaries, they were going to ignite change through radical means. As you, and soon they will quickly learn, leading a revolution isn't easy, and it paints the biggest target squarely on your back. The birth of a radical movement was spawned by a simple question. Valve, where's all the content you promised for Left 4 Dead 1? One of the 3 leaders went so far as to call the E3 reveal of Left 4 Dead 2 a day that will live in infamy, further cementing Left 4 Dead 2 as the Pearl Harbor of gaming. It sounds hyperbolic, but these points actually resonated with a lot of people, especially the Pearl Harbor part. People expected Valve to do what they always did, which was drop a great game, tinker and update.
I feel like this is very fair though. This is very fair criticism and like imagine buying a game and like imagine buying GTA 5 and then GTA 6 got like released just a year later. And GTA 5 was a complete like mess where there were so many issues that had it. And then boom. But at this no 2 cakes? No, it's because like people don't want to spend on 2 games. People spend on 1 game and they were promised that there will be updates to fix the issues that the first game had. And instead, they didn't update it, and they made a new one. So, like, it's still an issue.
Over time until years later, where then it's time for a sequel. They didn't want the fixes they were promised locked behind a paywall for a quick cash grab.
Right.
Mere hours after Left 4 Dead 2 was announced, the triumvirate was so angry that they decided to boycott the game altogether. When Valve held up the screen, the only tip they would give them is don't know, there's like 5 equally sus punchlines, choose your own adventure. These 3 weren't alone. More disgruntled fans joined the Steam boycott page. A couple angry dudes became a dozen, then dozens, soon hundreds. They mainly gathered on the Steam boycott page, but the early days of the boycott were more akin
4,000 comments?
into a town hall meeting than an organized political movement. Yes, you have something to say about Left 4 Dead 2? Valve's bad. Okay, next.
Left 4 Dead 2 bad.
Okay. Next.
Valve dumb.
There was no real organization yet, just that inkling of discontent that can spark something big. Amidst the sea of voices, some valid points gained traction. The first being that Valve shouldn't release a full-price sequel this soon. They need to uphold their promise to fix the first game. If they were going to release a sequel, it should be a smaller-priced DLC pack at worst. Or that by releasing Left 4 Dead 2 this soon, it'll fracture the community into 2 camps and nuke the lifespan of Left 4 Dead 1. Considering how long these games did last, that was a rational concern at the time. Also, a sequel in a year means that Left 4 Dead 2 isn't the Pearl Harbor of gaming, but the Madden of gaming. Both are equally depressing. Valve is going to become EA and pump out Rush.
Oh my god, imagine that. Imagine being, like, during this time being a gamer and then realizing, oh no, Valve is becoming them. Scary!
Slop year after year, with piecemeal adjustments to justify a $60 price tag. Oh, and Valve never released the software development kit for Left 4 Dead 1 like they said they would. It's only the thing that allows widespread access to create mods and keeps Left 4 Dead 1 alive for years. Totally not important the fans have access to that yet. Memes made their rounds, gamers made their sounds, but this boycott was getting nowhere, as blind hatred with no direction is just the internet. To make their concerns stick, the boycott needed organization. A lot of haters are joining up. Gonna start recruiting some officers to help, said Walking Target. They create a strict code of conduct the boycott members would have to adhere to. No extremism, and no gooning.
Fairs, alright.
Words to live by. Boycott members were given symbols they could use to rally others to their cause. Or even better, begin a grassroots effort to recruit in real life. Most importantly of all, the boycotters...
Imagine in real life, 2009. Hi, excuse me, do you want to rally against Valve because they released TF2 too early? I mean, Left 4 Dead too early? Yo.
Drafted a manifesto outlining their values, because everyone knows drafting a manifesto is always a good sign. Their demands were straightforward. Hold Valve accountable for what they said about Left 4 Dead 1. Until that happens, no one would buy Left 4 Dead 2. At a glance, their manifesto was articulate and seemingly reasonable enough. Read between the lines though and you start to see some cracks forming. Some of what the boycott demanded was straight up unrealistic. Like how Left 4 Dead 1 owners should get a discount on the sequel, or that
I was about to say that, but then I thought it, then I didn't say it out loud because I realized how kind of dumb that is, and so I kept my mouth shut.
They wouldn't judge Left 4 Dead 2's quality until it came out, even though that's literally what they're doing. And this was the updated version of the manifesto. The original version was far more vitriolic, petty, dare I say, stupid. Though it wasn't archived, we know from other comments at the time that it was along the lines of,
I'm not quite sure why I'm here or what I'm doing, but there's a reason.
The boycotters originally included complaints about Left 4 Dead 2 taking place during the day. Since the first game was a horror game at night, this means Left 4 Dead 2 is too bright and not scary enough. Found the author of that one. The music in the Left 4 Dead 2 trailer is wacky, so it's bad. They also originally argued that Valve was stealing ideas from the fans, seeing as the new zombies they showed off in the trailer were the exact same ideas some fans had suggested on the forums.
Coincidence?
The character design is trash because this guy looks like Uncle Phil. And you can't forget the fact that the character design is trash because this guy looks
This was a real complaint? What?
like Uncle Phil. And you can't forget the fact that the group was already infighting between console and PC users. Regardless, the Left 4 Dead 2 boycott pens their open manifesto to Valve and the wider world. What happened next was the best thing for the boycott and the worst thing for their leaders. They got attention. A lot of it.
11,000 members? Wait, that's actually insane amount.
The media could not get enough of this boycott. It was truly baffling to them. Why would you boycott getting a sequel so quickly from a company famous for not making sequels quickly? I mean, what's the matter, boycotters? Is your steak too juicy? The media coverage signal boosted the boycott. It's being discussed in unrelated forums. It's appearing in gaming magazines. All of a sudden, the boycott leaders
Remember gaming magazines? Wow.
had dozens of major media companies reaching out for interviews. They answered emails constantly from the press, even doing some podcast appearances. Any chance on any platform they got was an opportunity to reaffirm their stance. Do you think it's fair to have reacted with a boycott so early? Absolutely, said Mr. Pancakes. And going from a random guy who likes playing Left 4 Dead.
Wait. So I just remembered. They're literally complaining first before the game is even released, right? They're arguing with the idea, not really what TF2 Left 4 Dead is, and if it is like an W upgrade.
To the hot commodity in a media blitz obviously goes to your head a bit. What made it worse was not all their press was positive. Many people thought the boycott was filled with a bunch of entitled man-children, suffering from the aforementioned excessively juicy steak. One of the biggest gaming celebrities at the time called them crybabies, with more e-celebs throwing their hat in the ring.
This game really was worth another $60 purchase. I mean, there's just so much new here that makes it a legitimate sequel.
Thank God we have the Dark Side Phil seal of approval. And Peanut Butter Gamer too?
Oh my god! Thank you so much, Little Faye, for the 20 gifted! What? Why? Thank you! Thank you so much, I appreciate it!
Stars are here!
No, God, no. Angry Joe gave it a -3 on the Jomentum meter. It's so Jover for Valve. From an outside perspective, it really did seem like this one tiny number split one of the biggest fan bases in gaming into, funnily enough, two sides.
Not a bunch of kids just running about with their mouths and because their parents won't pay for it. They are actual real people. A lot of them are adults.
I find it really funny that the fans of Left 4 Dead feel betrayed, like Valve owes them more content than what was previously on the disc.
There's a lot of people that want to boycott Left 4 Dead 2. It's the dumbest thing I've heard in a long time.
Wow, old YouTube, holy good lord. Look at this. Oh my god. Oh! This editing.
I think the entire boycott debate can be boiled down to one screenshot. Guys, don't listen to the boycott. It is just a game. Left 4 Dead 2 is gonna gay. There just to make more money. Whatever the media said, the boycott remained strong. Their numbers were swelling into the tens of thousands now.
Let's keep up the great recruiting work being done, guys. It is really going great. Our determination must remain strong and our enthusiasm high.
My resolve has never been stronger.
Son.
The decent, ordinary citizens know that I'll do everything in my power to protect the underprivileged.
In only a few weeks since its inception, the boycott had grown to well over 25,000 members and was growing every day. Everyone loved Left 4 Dead.
No, what's something at 10 months? Wait, that's actually insane.
1. They didn't want it swept away for a sequel, and the initial support for the boycott reflected that. If we were really screwing up that badly, we wouldn't have 25,000 members so far, said the leaders. Finally getting some motion behind them, the leaders of the boycott start directly sending Valve emails. The media coverage heightened awareness for the boycott, and now Valve was also getting pressured in every single interview.
One of the questions we've had kind of post E3 is, why not do this as DLC? Why do it as a complete new game? And what can you offer it in terms of a, complete package?
Reaching a breaking point, Valve does something unthinkable. Something. That's what they do. I know that sounds stupid and you're probably laughing at me, but when it comes to public relations with ginormous companies like Valve, doing something is rare. It's a legitimate strategy for companies to completely ignore controversies or do nothing about it. Doesn't matter how loud the critics are, you just go ahead and sweep it right under there. Perfect, all good. It's stupid, but it works. Valve chose not to do this.
I think that when folks see everything that's in store for Left 4 Dead 2, they'll notice that it's a massive offering. It was inadvertent inadvertently or mistakenly taken as we were dropping support for Left 4 Dead 1, and that's just not the case. We're actually about to make an announcement of what's next for Left 4 Dead 1, which will be coming before Left 4 Dead 2.
That's so weird though. Why not just wait for at least another year and like support Left 4 Dead 1 and release Left 4 Dead 2 and like maybe one more year later?
They'll see that, oh, there was a method to their madness and they weren't being capitalistic geezers.
All of that is just corporate speak to say let us cook. And if you're Valve, making a sequel instead of a free update makes sense. After all, Left 4 Dead 2 was going to add 5 new campaigns, new characters, new voice actors, new weapons, new zombie types, a new story, new gameplay modes, new modding tools, and so on. In their minds, that's enough content to warrant a sequel. All the fans had to do was await further instructions and, quote, trust us a little bit.
Tweak my ass.
There's a reason why companies sometimes don't acknowledge controversies. By acknowledging it, you give it more power, and that's exactly what happened to the boycott. The group was now at over 40,000 members. This was the pinnacle, the golden age, the zenith of their power. Just weeks ago, these 3 dudes were working a 9-to-5 job and gaming on the side. Now they had a legitimate army in the palm of their hands. Valve started caving to their demands. The boycotters demanded Valve release the software development kit for Left 4 Dead 1. Valve agreed, then dropped the kit and the modding tools. Round of applause, boys. Another smashing victory. Thank you, Valve. The boycotters demanded Valve fix Left 4 Dead 1's matchmaking. Valve agreed and patch it. Oh, another victory, I guess. Take that, Valve. Well, you promised more content for Left 4 Dead 1, and yet I see nothing. Checkmate, Valve. Valve agreed and dropped the Crash Course DLC for Left 4 Dead 1 for free on PC and a couple bucks on Xbox.
Wait a minute, no, I have played Left 4 Dead. Oh, I was just so young. I don't remember anything. I just remember the characters, but I don't remember anything about the gameplay anymore. God, I was so young.
To the boycott and its leaders, these updates...
It was in my brother. It was with my brother. We were playing and he would be like, kill the guy, kill. And I'll be like, ah. I didn't know. I think I didn't know what I was doing, so that's probably why.
It seemed like major wins, and they were, but they were also a poison that slowly siphoned the boycott's momentum. Sorry, Jomentum. The more Valve actually fixed each point, the less reason they had to boycott. When everyone spends weeks saying F Valve, and then Valve says, yeah, dude, we do suck. Now it's kind of like, oh.
Now what?
Exactly. It was here, at the absolute height of their power, that the boycott lost the plot. Righteous action was soon replaced with bemused bitch. When Valve started ignoring the leaders' emails, how could they do this? We've not forgotten about this, Valve. The free deal.
Wait. When they announced the fact that there would be a release of the second Left 4 Dead, how long did it take for them to actually release it after the announcement? Was it immediate or was it like after like 6 months or let's say like next year?
See Valve released? Actually, it's not good enough. Do better next time. Valve released a Game of the Year version of Left 4 Dead 1 that added new game modes. Nope, not enough content. Exclusive Left 4 Dead 2 demos given to journalists and reviewers should be given to us, free of charge. Followed by more
6
emails
months,
to
okay.
Valve, of course. As the boycott continued and the arguments grew stale, the vibe mutated, the leaders and their followers grew bolder and more extreme.
They're changing.
If you brought up legitimate counterpoints like, hey, Valve is doing what you asked, or that everyone said the exact same thing about the orange box when it was announced and look how that turned out. Nope, didn't matter. Anyone?
Yeah, that kid from my school was one of those like ass haters when they don't understand what the fuck they're seeing when they see Pika.
That criticizes the boycott as a traitorous shill of big media companies who could never understand the plight of the
rent free for 15 years. This happened back in like 2000 and wait a minute. When was oh no. The orange box release PS3. 2007. I was like 8 years old, bro. Eight-year-old Demian had actually stuck around for 19 years of my life. Dude, oh my god, I remember more now. I remember why this stuck to me for so long. Because I literally brought the game itself in school. I remember I brought the box because we're doing show and tell about your favorite thing, and my favorite thing was the orange box. And so I brought it, and I was like, "This is my favorite thing." And then that Korean guy after class laughed at my face, like as if I was a loser, like as if I was playing as if I was like, "Bro, dude, no." He literally, I will never forget how he looked. I remember his last name. That's how bad I got. I remember his full first name, last name. I could like find him right now. It made me really sad, okay? It made me really sad when I brought in the orange box to school, and I was super proud of it. And he was just laughing at me as if like I'm such a loser.
Proletariat gamer, commenting that you thought Left 4 Dead 2 looked cool. Can we get the shill alarm going?
Demi, his kids might be what? Okay.
Playing the demo at Comic-Con and having a good time? Give it a second, it's gotta recharge. Whether or not it was fair to label everyone a Okay, there we go, let's go, shill alarm! I think this quote from Walking Target himself perfectly
8 years old. Let me no offense intended, but I figured you were mid-30s like me. I'm 26. I'm just Filipino, so in the Philippines, when you're like in a 1999 kid, you get everything very late. So whatever American kids have, we'll get it like maybe 5 years later. So yeah, you know, it is.
encapsulates how they viewed their critics. The largest reason why we get no respect from mainstream media is because they are too worried about offending the
Demi, is this why your color scheme is like the orange box? No, oh my god, please don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Yo, chill. Chill. Don't do this to me, bro. Wait, is this the reason why I love orange so much? Oh my god! Stop psychoanalyzing me. That's weird.
people who pay them.
That's
If they
weird.
run a piece against a game publisher, let's say Valve for example, then other publishers start worrying about if they're up next, and advertising revenues drop.
Her origin story. Memory so core she based her design off an orange box. The trauma stayed with her models. Yo, guys, shut up! Yo, this is a 30-minute video. I think we've watched this for like an hour or so already. Like, dude, chill.
Am I so out of touch? No.
At this point, anything Valve did to reassure the boycotters was pointless. Enough was never enough for them. So Walking Target...
No, but like, I don't understand. Like, genuinely, I really don't understand why the fuck you laughed at me. Like, this... Like, the games are fire. Like, no, I'm still on about it. I don't fucking care. I'm still on about it. I don't understand why he laughed so hard at me. He laughed so hard at me that another kid that was passing by started laughing too, by the way. Like, yo, what the fuck? What the actual man? I was playing geek. I don't care what anybody says, bro.
puts up a poll, frankly asking, if Valve fixed everything
You were so mad at an 8-year-old kid, by the way. Yeah, whatever.
we hate about Left 4 Dead 1, would you be happy? The majority voted...
How exactly did he laugh? No, dude, he laughed so hard he held his chest. That kind of laugh, okay? That kind of laugh that you're holding your chest for, okay? Like, I don't care. Cares?
No. Most stories like this would end here.
Okay,
but
let's
you're in
move on.
luck. The Left 4 Dead 2 boycott ended not with a stagnant whimper, but a betrayal.
I'm sorry. I can't stop thinking about it. Fuck, now it's like in my memory. I wonder if he still remembers it too. I really wonder if I DM'd him and shit, would he remember? Would he remember the fact that he did that to me? Do you think that he would remember? Or is it just me? Is it just me just like remembering that shit?
There's only one person in the world to decide what I'm gonna do, and that's me.
Valve had one last trick up their sleeve. See, the boycott leaders, they're just fans of Valve at the end of the day. Super fans at that. And what no super fan could resist is the very thing they've been boycotting this entire time. Valve itself. In a bold move, Valve decided to fly out Walking Target and Agent of...
What? What? They flew them out? Oh my god, bro. Oh, yeah, my bad.
Chaos for an exclusive in-person tour of their studio. Where did Mr. Pancakes go? I don't know, he just stopped posting and dipped. Walking Target and Agent of Chaos got to meet some of the staff working on Left 4 Dead 2. Got some souvenirs. They even met Gabe Newell himself and his personal Lambda Core super portal to Zen. And best of all, they got to play an exclusive Left 4 Dead 2 demo. And they loved it. Going as...
Of course. You know, I feel like Valve did this because they were like, you know what? If we make the biggest haters love our game, then we have nothing to worry about, no? Like, let's just do it.
Far to say that the quality of Left 4 Dead 2
promo.
shouldn't be questioned. The media had a field day and were quick to clown the leaders who immediately ate their own words. But journalist number 2347 was not who Walking Target and Agent of Chaos had to worry about. When the leaders returned to the boycott with their tails between their legs, and news of an all-expense-paid tour to visit the same studio they were protesting, people were furious. They were labeled traitors, hypocrites, shills, while others rushed to defend their leaders during this verbal onslaught. A full-scale civil war had broken out.
Traitor! Because I came down here with Keith once, and he didn't... Come on, shoot the tank, y'all!
I hate the military.
Agent of Chaos and Walking Target attempted to quell the chaos, but it was futile. Too many trolls had infiltrated the group. Too many people had turned on them. The group was 40,000 strong, yet announcements rarely got more than 300 comments. Engagement was dwindling. They really had lived up to their names, as they managed to paint a giant target on themselves, and sow the seeds of chaos within their group. And when it was time to reap those sowed seeds, the situation was grim. Evidently, Walking Target and Agent of Chaos had been working on a Left 4 Dead 1 mod of their own. When it was delayed, that same impatience they instilled came back to bite them, as everyone was now harassing them for delaying it, labeled as traitors by half their followers, and getting flamed in the replies nonstop. The two of them put out a statement that is, ironically enough, exactly what Valve would have said about the entire boycott. It doesn't matter what course of actions we could have taken, or how a
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Who's logging in my bank account? Whoa, 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 whoa! Hey, dear, you logged in. Dear, you successfully added a favorite biller? What? Oh, bitch! Wait, what? 2 p.m.? 2 p.m. I was live during that. 2 p.m. Philippine time. They just emailed me late. Oh my god.
If we were with Valve, you folks would not be pleased. Whining is not going to get you anywhere because nothing we could possibly do would make you happy. And I'm through trying. So they decide to shut down the boycott, signing off their final message by saying, Left 4 Dead 2 is a great game.
Demi wouldn't even know how much money they took because she doesn't even know what's in there.
And a great deal. We left an indelible mark on the industry. You should all be proud. Then the plug is pulled. Many celebrated the end of the boycott, seeing it as a movement destined to fail, while some holdouts formed a splinter group called Left 4 Dead 2 Boycott 2 with its own manifesto and leader. It barely got any traction, seeing as the original boycott left an indelible mark on the industry. But ultimately, what was that mark? I'm not quite sure, but it's probably the type of mark you're sitting on right now. When Left 4 Dead 2 finally came out in November 2009, it was an instant classic. And when people got to actually play the game they boycotted, they found that nearly every point the boycott raised, even the dumb ones, were proven wrong in the end. Valve added new content, continually updated game modes for both titles, even merging all of Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 together, exactly what they had done before with their previous games. All we needed to do was trust them a little bit. Walking Target said the boycott served its...
I mean, like, if I was in 2009 and I found out there's, like, a favorite game of mine is getting a new whole game and it's, like, an actual, like, new characters and stuff like that, I would not complain, to be honest.
purpose. But did it actually?
No.
All the boycott really did was hold Valve accountable for a promise they were already going to keep. When asked if the boycott changed their plans for Left 4 Dead, Valve said, no, not really. The boycott might have been seen as a motivational tool to finish the game by the boycotters. For Valve, it had the opposite effect.
You didn't complain when the waitress brought a different order. Well, dude, I get to try something new. I have too much anxiety to try new things anyway, so I'm like, oh, you know what? If this is fire, then this is fire.
From June to November launch, dealing with a lot of negativity towards a game I love, with a community that I knew would love it, and I was just failing at community.
Maybe the indelible mark they left behind was a drastic hit to Left 4 Dead 2 sales. After all, this was a boycott. Well, when Left 4 Dead 2 released, the boycott page flickered with life once again, as people were hopping on. Wait a second, weren't you in the boycott? Turns out principles come second to video games, as Valve reported that
for people who've joined the boycott group on Steam, we can look at their pre-orders and they're actually pre-ordering the product.
Oh my god, the call out! Oh my god! Nadik, because of 24 months, 2 years. Holy call out, bro. Imagine getting called out by Gabe Newell. That is actually insane. In 4K? I've never seen that shit before. Again, judging the register hardly valid 2 decades later. They claim it didn't, but many know it did. It's silly these people were considered the head of anything. The community didn't care about these 2 people did. They were irrelevant.
A higher rate than Left 4 Dead 1 owners who weren't in the boycott.
But I was skeptical of this claim at first, so I did some math. Currently, the boycott still has about 10,000 members. I combed over 755 Steam profiles. Of the 275 profiles that had a visible indicator of game ownership, 249 purchased Left 4 Dead 2. Keep in mind this is a rough estimate, and not everyone may have joined.
I'm not gonna lie. This reminds me, not really the same way, but this also reminds me of what happened with McDonald's. People will go like boycott McDonald's, and then you see them like buy McDonald's themselves. If you're gonna stand on by something, at least stand on by something. At least like actually follow through.
Before the game came out, but just within that sample size, over 90% of boycotters purchased Left 4 Dead 2, which kind of taints their reputation. For all their bravado and eloquent speeches, all they were—
Or Starbucks, yeah. Opinion changed with new evidence, but the original concerns were valid. I think the original concerns were valid as fuck. I think the idea of releasing a new game when there's still issues with the first game is so valid. But then the moment that Valve like did fix the things that they were complaining about, you don't need to like you can change your mind, guys. You don't have to be stuck in this ways. You can like be like, all right, Valve is a W, and they fixed all my issues, and now I'm going to enjoy Left 4 Dead 2 as well.
Was a loud minority. At their peak, they numbered 40,000, but Left 4 Dead 1 sold 2.5 million copies. That's less than 2% of the community that was boycotting. And speaking of the community, I find it incredibly rich that one of the biggest points the boycott rallied behind was keeping the Left 4 Dead 1 community together, when they themselves couldn't work together to enjoy a game that's all about cooperation. The Left 4 Dead 2 boycott may have left behind a legacy of irony. They may have achieved nothing, but at the very least, they cared enough to do something. Sure, Valve made good on their promises, but that doesn't erase the fact that holding major companies accountable is never a bad thing. Maybe if there's—
I completely agree. I think that Valve releasing or announcing a new game when their previous game had many issues and stuff like that is fair as fuck, and I think that's fine. And I think the reason why they fixed it so fast, and when they were like, you know, when they needed to take accountability for it, they did it. Yeah, W, dude. You know, after complaints are done and then they actually do something about it, it really goes to show that Valve is a really good company, IMO.
One shred of impact from this boycott, it's that when they tried to make a spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead 2, and it missed the mark, people actually voted with their time and returned to the once boycotted game that now inspired it.
Fine, you didn't want Left 4 Dead 2, so now we're gonna leave you with a needle in your arm wanting more for 15 years or so. Well, what I didn't understand is why Valve gave us VR support for a lot of their games, then tried to pull the support away later, leaving us to mod the games if we wanted it. I wouldn't know. get headaches from VR, so I haven't really touched VR so much. So I wouldn't be able to like talk about that.